Many different manufacturers have joined Formula One, and when joining, they have had a lot of success, such as Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes. So, with that success, there comes a lot of history to the team. So in this video, we will take a look at one manufacturer in particular by the name of BMW and their history in Formula One. BMW joined Formula One in 1982, but not as a team manufacturer, but as an engine supplier for other teams on the grid. In the 1980s, they supplied engines to Arrows, Ligier, Benetton, and Brabham. And in 1983, Nelson Piquet won the Drivers' World Championship driving the Brabham BT52 powered by a BMW engine. In 1988, BMW left F1, and it was unclear when or if BMW would return. While BMW was not racing in F1, their next objective was to win the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is a thrilling, interesting race that demands courage and skill. And because of those reasons, most every car manufacturer would like to taste victory in this race. After a difficult 1998 race, in 1999, BMW partnered with the F1 team Williams and created the V12 LMR. The partnership was a success. BMW and Williams won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1999. Meanwhile, there was rumors that BMW and Williams would combine for yet another motorsport, Formula One. And with that, the BMW Williams partnership began in Formula One. So BMW and Williams partnered up for Formula One. But who are Williams? Let's talk about them for a moment. Williams is a very well-known team across the F1 community, and at this time, they had won multiple championships and were dominating the grid in the past few years. Williams were the second most successful constructor in Formula One, and so BMW coming into the partnership with Williams is a win-win for both teams. BMW Williams would have their first season together and would finish third in the World Championship in 2000. In 2001, BMW Williams would score 4 different victories that season, with Ralf Schumacher winning the first at the San Marino Grand Prix. The two drivers, Montoya and Schumacher, would gather enough points to finish third in the championship again, but this time round, they'd be closer to McLaren in the championship. In 2002, BMW Williams would only score 1 win, but they would finish second in the championship ahead of McLaren and right behind the all-dominant Ferrari. By 2003, BMW Williams had scored many wins, podiums, and points, but could they achieve what they set out to do, win the championship? It'd be very difficult to do this since Ferrari had been dominating the Formula One grid for the past years. The season was super close. All three teams, Ferrari, BMW Williams, and McLaren, all traded wins throughout the season, and at the very end of it, Ferrari just beat Williams by just a few points separating the top three. An insanely close championship that could have gone in BMW Williams' way. They tried their very best, but Ferrari and Schumacher were just too good. After 2003, the results from BMW Williams were just not the same. Only 1 win in 2004 and 4th place in the championship, just not as good as they were previously. 2005 saw an all-new driver pairing for BMW Williams, but unfortunately the results just weren't there. Only 4 podiums that season and 5th in the Constructors' Championship, way far behind their rivals Ferrari, McLaren, and Renault. At the end of the 2005 F1 season, BMW announced that the partnership between Williams and BMW would end. A year after the BMW Williams partnership ended, BMW purchased Sauber F1 team. Pre-2006, BMW had always supplied engines to manufacturers, but now BMW owned an F1 team, so things were going to be different. Prior to BMW's purchase of the team, Sauber was not very competitive, and now that BMW owned the team, the results looked to be very different than previously. Nick Heidfeld and Jacques Villeneuve were able to get the team to 5th in the Constructors' Championship, but the next year would be a very different story for the team. In 2007, a lot happened with BMW. I think most famously the crash when Robert Kubica's car had a horrific shunt into the wall at the Canadian Grand Prix at turn 10. There was a huge high point for BMW at the end of the season. The team finished 3rd in the championship, but because McLaren were disqualified, BMW Sauber finished 2nd in the championship, just 1 place behind the winning constructor. 2008 was a very interesting year for BMW Sauber. BMW finished 1 and 2 at the Canadian Grand Prix. This would be BMW's first victory as a constructor in Formula 1. The thing about 2008 with BMW is that they missed a huge opportunity for the team going forward. The thing is that BMW Sauber could have won the 2008 World Championship. The reason why is because they had the fastest car at one point, but they decided not to develop the car any further to focus more on 2009. This, in my opinion, was a mistake. If BMW continued to develop the 2008 car instead of focusing their time on 2009, they would have been in contention for the overall championship in 2008 with Ferrari and McLaren. Because of this, BMW finished third in the championship, behind their rivals Ferrari and McLaren. It may have been a missed opportunity for BMW, but these things happen in racing. 2009 didn't go the best for BMW, but then again, it didn't go to plan for most everyone. Braun and Red Bull were up at the top, where other manufacturers that were more competitive the year before, like BMW, Ferrari, and McLaren, were uncompetitive this year. BMW Sauber took 6th in the constructors' standings at the end of it. For the past couple of years, up until now, it just wasn't going the way that BMW had hoped for. BMW did not return to the F1 grid in 2010 and decided to withdraw from Formula 1 altogether. BMW chose to sell the team back to Peter Sauber, and Sauber is now called Alfa Romeo and still races on the Formula 1 grid to this day. And with that, that is the end of BMW's history in Formula 1. Thanks so much for watching this video on BMW's history in Formula 1. Do you think BMW took success in Formula 1? And if so, when did they do it? Was it in the 1980s when Nelson Piquet won that world championship with Brabham? Or maybe the Williams BMW days when they got so close to winning the championship in 2003? Or was it when they bought BMW Sauber and led the championship in 2008 and got that win at the Canadian Grand Prix? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. That's going to be it from me. Thanks again for watching, and peace out.